Okay, today's class should be a refuah shlema to Eliyahu Shimon ben Mazal Fotene. That's Rabbi Eli Abadish. Refuah shlema for the nefesh for the guf. We have a double parsha, my dear friends. I want to just share a couple of quick ideas for you. And the double parsha is Matot Masai. Now, it opens up with a very unusual area when it comes to making vows. Vows in Hebrew are called nedarim. A neder, to make a neder on something. What exactly is a neder? And why is it such a big thing that the opening tefillah on the holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur, starts with us trying to be mevatel, to wipe away any nedarim, any vows that we may have made, whether purposefully or even inadvertently. That's the question. Ish ki yidor neder Hashem, if a person makes a vow to God, or his shavua, and they make a shavua. Shavua is something different. A vow, we're going to see, a neder goes on an object, a shavua goes on a person. And we'll see the difference. Le'sor isar, to make something forbidden, al nafsho, upon their soul. Lo yachal devaro, you have to fulfill that which you have done. You shouldn't make the oath or the vow that you've made become a desecration. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you have to do. That is the concept, in short, of a neder. So what exactly is a neder, and why would a person even make one? Well, first of all, a person may make a promise to someone that they're going to do something. That's one thing, which is a big deal. However, when it comes to a neder, a neder is making a statement about an object. For example, a person may say, I'm not saying this, but a person may say, I make a neder, I'm not going to eat any chocolate for a month. They made a neder on chocolate. This is an extremely unusual thing, because just by making that declaration, they have actually changed that object according to Torah law. By making that statement, why they will make that statement is whatever reason they have. They want to go on a diet, they want to work on themselves. This is their way of coming closer to Hashem by removing themselves from physical pleasures. Why a person will make a neder is up to them. They're trying to work on themselves. But let's say a person were to make such a statement. Nowadays, we're told not to do it. Hence, you'll hear people saying the whole time, I'll see you at 2, bli neder, right? That is the, well, that's probably a misuse of the term, but there's something to it. I'm telling you that I'm going to do something, but I'm not making to a neder. So people will say, bli neder. When they say bli neder, it's not like the Jewish get-out clause, like, I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. No, you're actually saying that I'm not changing, I'm not putting a oath quality to my statement. So if a person were to say, I am not going to eat chocolate for 1 month, there's something extraordinary that happens. They've changed this item. This item that was pure chocolate before their statement and was permitted to this person, by making the statement, they've now made this chocolate into pig, as it were. Totally forbidden to eat. We have the power, through our words, to change physical objects and to give them a completely different status. The item itself is not the same. It may look the same, it may taste the same, but in relationship to the item itself, the item is not the same item that it was a few minutes ago. That is the idea of a neder. And it really comes down to the power of words. God himself gave us the Torah, and the Torah forbids a number of things and says this you can do, this you can't do, this you can eat, this you can't eat. But Hashem added another layer, and the layer is that we, through our words, are able to enact an absolute and complete change in an item. The spiritual root, you could pretty much say this, of that item is now completely different. The words that you utter, and you have to say them, you can't think them. Just like you have to say prayer, you can't just think prayer, although according to Kabbalah, thinking prayer is sufficient, but that is not the halacha. Halacha is any tefillah that we make need to come out of our mouths. Even the amidah, the silent prayer, the tefillah shel lachash, should come out of our mouths and be loud enough for us to hear. But even if we say words, those words need to be said and expressed. When you say a word, and those words come out of your mouth, and those words now, for example, are, I forbid myself from eating chocolate for 30 days, that item, the spiritual source of that item, is completely changed and different. It is not the same item. And it's based upon a concept that Hashem gave us the power to change things with our words. If prayer works by us speaking, so too a neder works as well. A neder works to change an item. And this is not just limited to nedarim on objects. Let's say, for example, well, not even an example, a person gets married and they're standing under the chuppah. And at this point, they are permitted to marry whoever they want. I mean, within the confines of halakha. Let's say, well, not even let's say, now they take this ring and they say the words, Hari'at Mekadeshet li betabat zu kadat Moshe v'Yisrael. Behold, you are consecrated to me with this ring according to the laws of Moshe and Yisrael. Those words have changed this person's life in totality. They are now completely restricted to this one person. By saying those words, they have actually changed their entire life. It's not Hashem saying it. It's not a rabbi saying it. They say it. And by saying those words and placing the ring on someone's hand, they've actually changed their entire life and their entire relationship to themselves. Because now they have forbidden themselves, and this woman, by accepting the ring upon herself, right, this gift that he gives her, have accepted upon herself that I am now forbidden to everybody else. So that's a second example that we see where people have the ability. It just shows, we're basically saying there is a power in words and statements, a lot more than we realize. So much so we can create halachic realities that were not there beforehand. They weren't set up by God. They weren't created by Hashem. They were created by us. One final example, which I think fits into this realm as well, is actually when it comes to naming the new month, the Chodesh. They would take witnesses who claimed they saw the new month, and they would interrogate them in a very nice way. And are you sure you saw it? What did you see? How bright was it? Because in Eretz Yisrael, it could be cloudy, it could be overcast, it could be a time of the year where the moon is not so clear. And they make a statement that they saw the new moon, and that is going to have major repercussions. Because when you start Rosh Chodesh, it's going to now set up every day of the month, and in most months, it's going to set up the Jewish holidays, the Chagim that fall in that month. So now it's saying something even more incredible. Although Hashem gave us the Jewish holidays and they are set up by the Torah, when they fall, appears and is left up to us to delineate and to investigate and to declare. When they declare, now we do it on the Shabbat for Rosh Chodesh, but that's just a declaration we make in the Bet Knesset. Really the calendar has been set up, but it wasn't always set up like it is today. And the way that a calendar was set up was by witnesses who saw it. And if they said it and it was accepted, then a message was sent from community to community via fires on mountains, by the way. They would light a fire, a Medura, on one mountain. The next people on the next mountain would see it, they'd light a fire. And that is the early version of the internet, of the news being spread, that it's actually Rosh Chodesh. And when they saw it, actually they ended up stopped doing this because there were various Jewish individuals who wanted to disrupt this flow of information, and they would start setting up false fires. So this eventually broke down the system. But that was the system for a long time. And when they made the declaration that this is the Chodesh, that was it. And we even have the power to set up a new month, a new moon declaration, which is going to ultimately set up every Jewish holiday. So I know it sounds incredible, but Hashem gave us the holidays, but we decide when to keep them based upon the vision of the moon. And all of that is set up via a declaration. Words have power. So we saw 3 examples. When words create new realities, we first of all saw a neder that a person makes when they want to refrain from a certain food. We said that when a person gets married, they say words, and that changes their relationship to this individual forever, forever. And finally, the new moon that is set up comes through a declaration. The words themselves change everything for the entire Jewish people. That is, when to keep the various holidays as they appear. That is the concept of Nadarim, and it comes down to the power of speech and words that Hashem endowed us with. Okay, have a great day.